Snuggle Up Story Time. Hello everyone, this is Snuggle Up Story Time. Today we're going to be reading Jack and the Jelly Beanstalk by Rachel Mortimer and Liz Pitchin. I've got my teddy, hopefully you've got yours. Jack and the Jelly Beanstalk. Jack's mum shook the biscuit barrel and peered inside the bread bin. She looked in dismay at the last few crumbs. "I'm sorry, Jack," she sighed, "but the cupboards are bare and my purse is empty. We'll have to sell Daisy." "Don't worry, Mum," said Jack sadly. "I'll get a good price for her." Daisy was the cutest cow you'd ever see, so it wasn't surprising that even before they got to the town, a farmer had offered Jack 20 gold coins for her. 20 gold coins!" cried Jack. His mum would be so pleased. Jack was on his way home when all of a sudden he spotted a wonderful sweet shop. Inside there were juicy jellies, fizz whizzers, gooey gums, heaps of lollipops, chunky chocolate raisins, yummy pineapple chunks, rainbow sherbets, strawberry straws, but Jack could not take his eyes off the enormous bag of glittering jelly beans. "These are magic jelly beans in every flavour you could wish for," smiled the shopkeeper, "and for 20 gold coins you can have 'em all." Every flavour he could wish for. Jack couldn't help himself. He handed over the money. Jack walked home in a dream, but when he arrived home without Daisy and without any money, his mum was furious. "You silly boy, what use are jelly beans?" She threw the bag outside and sent Jack straight to bed without any supper. In the middle of the night, Jack woke up to a delicious smell of blueberries, chocolate, strawberries, ice cream, and caramel wafting in through his window. A giant jelly beanstalk was growing in his garden. It was a beautiful sight, shining in the moonlight, covered in brightly coloured beans in all yummy flavours Jack had never dreamed of. Jack opened his window and began to climb, cramming jelly beans into his mouth as he went. Orange, pear, mint, sherbet, chocolate chip, apple pie, candy floss, popcorn. Angry giant, beware! Higher and higher he climbed, until feeling rather full, he came to a huge golden gate and a large sign. Jack was hesitating when he heard a strange noise. He peered behind the door. "Honk, honk," sobbed a little white goose. "The giant is so angry. I've tried my best to lay more golden eggs, but it's no good. The pantry is empty, and there's nothing to eat in the castle except me and that stringy old harp." Suddenly the ground shook. "Fee, fi, fo, foy, I smell a juicy boy. Goose is good, but boy so tasty, served with chips and wrapped in pastry." "Stop," stuttered Jack as the giant scooped him up in his hands. "I'm very bony and I haven't washed for weeks. Give me 10 minutes and I'll bring you a banquet and a feast fit for a king." Thought the giant, putting Jack back down again. "My clock is ticking. Tick, tick, tick. Bring me my feast and make it quick." Jack had never walked so fast. In 10 minutes he had picked hundreds of jelly beans. The giant had melon beans for his starter and fish and chips beans for his main course. It was all washed down with a fruity bean smoothie. The goose watched hungrily. The giant was just about to tuck into his pudding beans when... "You swallowed them down whole!" Honk! The giant was furious. He grabbed the goose and shook her. Honk, 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 but the beans would not come out. He threw her down to grab his carving knife. Jack grabbed the goose and raced for the jelly beanstalk. "Stop!" yelled the giant, thundering after them. He grabbed the stalk and tried to climb down, but he was far too heavy. The jelly beanstalk began to sway. Jack jumped off it just in time. It wibbled and wobbled, then came crashing to the ground, far away from Jack. Crash! Jack looked around and grinned. The garden was covered in jelly beans. The goose never laid another golden egg, but she did lay delicious speckled one, tutti fruity ones, and tingy tangy ones. Jack and his mum had enough jelly beans to feed them for years, although every so often they would find one that tasted like smelly old socks. Yuck! Hopefully you and your teddy loved that story. I surely did. Make sure to like and subscribe for more. That's it from Snuggle Up Story Time. Bye!